Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. Let's get it, man. Hope everybody had a great weekend. First and foremost. Second, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. And even shout out to the mothers who have to step up and play that father role, man. I know that's hard, so shout out to y'all, man. Let's get it. What's good, Dom? Yep, new collection dropping this weekend. Super fire. I'm wearing one of the shirts right now, to be honest with you. Sherman was good. Nod, El Blocka, John, Fiona, Danny, Continuous Growth, Penny, Mike, Lowry, Steadfast. What's good, everybody? Happy Sunday. We got a big, short trading week ahead. It's short trading week. Market is closed on my birthday, Juneteenth, and then it will reopen Friday as normal. So we have a short trading week this week. I personally hate trading these weeks where the market's closed right before the market's supposed to close. Market's closed on Thursday, opens back up Friday, then closes again. I just feel like those days never have any value. But we'll see, ultimately. Yeah, man. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. For everybody that's new here, welcome to you as well. We're going to go ahead and get into this economic calendar first, and then we're going to get into the watch list for the week ahead. Alrighty, guys. Here we go. Let's get it. Pull up the economic calendar here using investing.com. That is what I personally use. You can use TradingView. You can use, whatever you want, to be honest. It's all the same. We're all looking for the same stuff. Alrighty, guys. Let's get it. Here we are. We are going into Monday, June 16th. Nothing of importance here on Monday. Tuesday, June 17th, we have retail sales. That is going to be at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with industrial productions, business inventories, a couple other things that aren't really that important. The big day this week, it is going to be Wednesday. We have jobless claims because obviously the market's closed on Thursday, which is when it usually is released. So that's first things first, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The big focus this week is going to be FOMC. That is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, June 18th. As always, we'll have the FOMC press conference after that statement release where Jay Powell will answer questions, talk about the overall market in terms of monetary policy, etc., etc. That is at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is big as it gets, right? This is the big dog data, right? This is 10 out of 10 importance. 10 out of 10 importance. Between Trump and this right here, this is where the market moves. So this week, hopefully, right, we can get some nice sentiment in terms of the next few trading weeks. Get a nice clear direction. Thursday, again, market is closed, June 19th. Friday, market will open as normal, June 20th. We have PMI at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, very simply put, big day this week is Wednesday, FOMC, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jay Powell speaking, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The market is definitely looking forward to that Wednesday statement and press conference. So, make sure you guys are aware then. Try not to trade then, right? From 2 p.m. on Wednesday to really like 3. If you're trading any time in between that or even into close, to be honest, you're just pure fucking degenerate. You know what I mean? Sometimes it would take a trade, right? If there's a good setup, but that's just max degeneracy, right? If you're trading around FOMC, it's just pure degeneracy, right? That's not something that you want to do. If you do it, make sure that risk is off, right? Market does not care about your position size or anything like that. You will get clapped and the market will have zero remorse, right? Jay Powell does not care. He's going to, dance around his questions like he always does. Or maybe he'll be more, straightforward this time, and that will help, of course. But, yep, that's what we got to look forward to this week. Let me go ahead and make this chart bigger, and let's get into the charts. Here we are. This is NQ monthly chart. not much has really changed, right? Not much has really changed since last month when we looked at it. I mean, last week. We have now failed that previous month's high, so that's pretty interesting. We're trading, we were trading about 2% away from all-time highs at one point on NQ, being under 1% on QQQ. So we're very close to all-time highs. We essentially knocked on the door. We didn't break. We didn't test, but we were on the front stoop. From a monthly perspective, I mean, there's not really to much to digest from here. Weekly chart is a little bit different. Last week, we obviously had that sweep of highs and then closed relatively weak. I mean, this is a scenario we don't really want, right? If we're trading in between the previous week's high and the previous week's low, this is really a scenario I'm not looking forward to trading. And to be honest, this is probably the most probable scenario going into FOMC, us just consolidating. And then, after FOMC, hopefully we'll catch, a big move up or a big move down. But I would say these charts are pretty grim going into FOMC until we break. But there is some good opportunity, so we'll get into that. But, yeah, from a weekly perspective here, I mean, it can go either way, right? We can hold that previous week's low and end up engulfing that previous week, or we could flip this candle red, break that previous week's low, and see some significant downside. It's just a, kind of like a waiting game at this point. There's no real decision on these charts. I would say the clarity comes from these lower time frames. That's what I would say. Specifically the hourly, right? Or 4-hour hourly, whatever you want to say. It's very clear here what's going on, right? We're holding demand, right? It's very clear here. Tonight we opened, dumped 200 points off the open, and pretty much engulfed that whole move and some. So if you're looking at this chart from the hourly 4-hour perspective, we're still holding demand, right? So you can't really be bearish here, even though last week we did sweep those highs, made a lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high. Yeah, you can look at it from that perspective, but ultimately we're still holding demand. So with FOMC coming up on Wednesday this week, I'm going to kind of go over a broader analysis, not so much focused on tonight or tomorrow, just overall. And the two levels I really want to harp on are 22.35 and 21.690, right? These levels are pretty clear, and the overall structure to them are clear, right? If we get above 22.335, we know what's going on, right? We know what's going on. What is going off? Hold on one second. All right, cool. Above 22.335, that's the trigger, right? That's where we make that move into all-time highs, 22.700, 22.900 area. Now, obviously, that's a long ways away from where we're currently trading, right? That's a 400-point move almost. It's not out of this world for us to get up there, but obviously that's a ways away. There is a few things I'm watching before that, and that's what I'm going to discuss right now. Obviously, if we push into this area, right, 22.200, 22.300, I would be interested in a reject there if we showed weakness, right? That's obvious. That's a major supply. Now, in terms of the downside, the structure here is clear as day, right? 22.690. If we're above 22.690, that short is going to be a hard bargain, right? It's going to be a hard bargain. If we get below that 690, that's when shorts are going to become butter, right? They're going to move very aggressively back down into this demand here, 21.300. Who knows? We could potentially even get down to this 21,000 area, right? So the big levels to focus on this week, 21.690, 22.335. I would set alerts at both of them, right? Now let's talk about a smaller time frame. Let's talk about tonight going into tomorrow. One thing I'm watching right now, right? Friday session, you can see we rejected this trend line resistance, had some significant downside here. Market opened, we dumped significantly, pretty much quickly got bought up, right? What I want to focus on at this moment is 21.920, 21.920, right? This is what, 21.900, 21.920. If we can fail here right now, like we're seeing, this will be the prime short opportunity back down into 21.800, ultimately targeting these lows, okay? That's the prime short right now, what we're seeing, right? So looking at this chart here, 5-minute time frame, this is kind of your guideline for tonight, right? If we're below 21.920 and we show weakness up here, get a nice rejection, break of structure, this is where you would look for that short, targeting 21.840 and these lows, right? That's what you would look for here. Reject this 21,920, get below 21,880. That's where you look for the short, back down into this structure, and overnight lows. Now, if we reclaim here, right, because we are building, you guys can see, making higher lows after that big demand bounce. What you would watch for is you would watch for a break and hold above the 21,920, and you would look for a long position back into that 22,000, 22,070, okay? So my big focus tonight, going into tomorrow, is going to be 21,920. I'm watching for either that failure or I'm looking for that break and hold above 21,920, okay? That's simple here. Obviously, the broader analysis is focused on that 22,335, 21,690. ES, I would say this is a bit of a cleaner chart. Monthly chart, there's really not much to digest here other than obviously we rejected that major supply at 6,100. Weekly chart, I mean, again, there's not really much to digest here. We have previous week's low, previous week's high, not much interest in trading in between of it, right? Want to see a breakout, right? Whether it's up or down, don't care. Want to see us out of it. Daily chart, this is where things get a little bit tricky, right? We pushed into this major supply here, 6120, and we failed. And then here we are now, right? But if you look at where we're trading now, we're ultimately still holding demand. 6,059.85. This is that major demand. And what did we do tonight? We opened, we pushed right back into this demand, and we held. So again, this is a tough bargain for being short, right? It is, because we just pulled back into this demand. The most the most probable scenario here is, us holding and trading higher because that's what we've been doing, right? We are in an uptrend. We have been very strong. Now, with FOMC this week, we got to stay open-minded. So the big line in the sand levels that I want to focus on, 59.85, 61.20. We get below 59.85, by all means, short it back down to that 5,900, 5,800, right? We get above 61.20, long it, buy the dips, target that all-time high, 62.15. That's simple. Anything outside of that, not really interested here on ES. Maybe. Interested in if we pop up into the 60-80 and we can fail, I would be interested in a short there. That's the only thing I would watch outside of that. That is a big supply here. YM, this chart's, a lot cleaner, but ultimately, what are we doing? Holding demand, right? Everything is still holding demand. So it's definitely a tricky scenario. If YM reclaims this 42,600, it's very likely we're going to squeeze higher. So I would say these are very tricky charts. Again, look at RTY. What are we doing? We're holding demand, right? If you look at everything we just looked at, we're holding demand, right? So it's a tough bargain for short tier, but we'll see what happens ultimately. Silver still holding this major demand, 35.4, 35.6. That's a top watch. Gold. This is a chart I absolutely freaking love. Gold was a freight train throughout last week. Major supply here, 34.75. This is very simple. I don't care when this happens. When it happens, I will take it. Gold gets above 34.75. This is the top long watch. Back into all-time highs, 35.37. There is nothing but room higher above that 34.75. This level is the type of level where you could, 1, take a failure of it, short, if we show weakness, or 2, we get above it, buy the dip and hold. So this is the level of all levels, and you guys can see why. Massive, right? There's no questioning how strong this level is, right? It's not. Last time we tested it, look what happened. Here we are again. Set alerts. Be patient. Oil. I mean, this was a chart that I fumbled, right? We were long oil right here. We were in a swing and I paper handed it. We were in USO right here. A little frustrating, but hey, it is what it is. We swung oil off of this demand here and paper handed it somewhere around here. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think this chart still looks good though. Pull back into 69.70 or above that 78. Guys, new contracts. You guys got to keep up to date. No longer trading NQM, right? Those are the old contracts. New contracts, NQU. If you're trading micros, throw an M in the front of it. All right. Let's get into the main watch list here. SPY, almighty level, right? Like I said, we have FOMC on Wednesday. So I kind of want to cover the line in the sand levels versus, little hourly levels. SPY, 606.50, 594.50. We get below 594.50. Bottom falls out, 591. Probably get down into this 580. Upside, we get above 606.50. That's the almighty move back into all-time highs. Anything in between that on SPY, I'm not super interested, right? If we popped into the 602 and failed, that could be a good short. If we pull back and hold this 594.50, that could be a good long. But the main watch this week with FOMC is get out of this range, right? You guys can see we've been in this range for a while. My top watch is get out of it. QQQ, major level, 524.50, major level, 537. Real big level here on Qs is 541. That is all-time highs. So with QQQ here, it's going to be a little bit trickier, obviously. But if we can get below 524.50 on Qs, this is my top short watch targeting 520 and then that 512 area. I think if we break this 524.50, this is going to trigger a massive, massive move. And same goes with, hey, if we break here, I think we could see those all-time highs, right? So I think this week with FOMC, we're either going to be back at all-time highs or we're going to be down at this 510, 50 area. So my bullish target, FOMC. Bearish target, FOMC. Worst case scenario, stay in here. That's worst case scenario. Alrighty, let's get into these individual names, guys. And yeah, keep it pushing. I'm going to take a drink of water real quick. Give me 1 second. How many dads we got in here? How many dads we got in here? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Let me see. 100 likes is criminal, for sure. That is criminal. Absolutely criminal. Absolutely criminal. Father of 6. Nice, man. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Nice, nice. Cool, cool, cool. Nice to see, man. Happy Father's Day to all you guys. Alrighty, let's get it, y'all. First things first here. Apple. Apple is the top short watch. Beautiful chart here, right? Got this weekly chart. Got our high, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and a bearish engulfing last week's session with nice rising volume. This chart looks amazing. Beautiful little curl here. My favorite setup is on the hourly. This massive level here, 196. If Apple gets below this 196, by all means, short it into the ground. 193, 190 being the final target. If we get a pop on Apple, major supply here remains 200, 201. If we get a pop into this area, this is the top watch for a reject back down into 196. This is a beautiful chart, right? This is my favorite chart for the week ahead in terms of the downside. Apple's been relatively weak. This is a very, very nice chart. Next, we have NVIDIA. This is a chart I like depending on, one, what NVIDIA does, and two, what the market does. NVIDIA is now trading less than 6% from all-time highs, and we have a beautiful rally base here, right? My primary focus is the top of this base and the bottom of this base. Either setup, I will put risk on, right? I think with FOMC being a catalyst, if NVIDIA gets below 140.50, short this fucker into the ground. 137.50, back down into the 130s. If we get above 145, by all means, buy the dip on NVIDIA, hold for that 150 level. This can get parabolic, right? Either way this goes, if NVIDIA breaks this range, I think this is going to be a massive move, right? Whether it's to the upside or downside, make sure you guys set your alert. This is the top watch, depending on what obviously FOMC and the overall market does. Especially if NVIDIA can outperform. These are the type of setups where NVIDIA fucking makes a 10% move in one day, right? These are the type of levels we're looking at here. These are major levels, okay? So make sure you guys set your alerts. Crossing up, whoops. Add alert, crossing up. Add alert, crossing down. These are the type of setups where shit fucking happens, all right? Tesla. Beautiful chart here, right? It was very weak after that Elon and Trump news. Held that major demand and pretty much rebounded back into this major supply now. So we got a perfect either or setup here. You guys can see now Tesla is trading in this major supply, but it's also holding this demand. So we have some good levels here to trade from on Tesla. Top watch is 1, a push in this 333, 335 area for 1, a reject. Or 2, if Tesla can get above 335, that is the squeeze territory back into 350 plus. On the flip side, if Tesla pulls back to this 310 area, I want to watch this for a demand bounce, right? Depending on what the market does. I think we can get a lot of value in that area for Tesla longs. But yeah, that's the watch on Tesla. 310 level, 335. Hold on. NQ is giving us an opportunity short here. And I'm going to take it. I'm short NQ here. My stop's going to be above this top of this base. Yeah. Yeah, we paid. Yeah, this looks fucking great. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to focus on this chart for a second. My average is 21,892.25. I think we can at least get this 21,830. That'll be the ultimate target. So right now we're risking what? 30 points for a potential 60-point move. That's a 2-hour trade. Yeah, we're risking what? About 25 points for a 60-point move. That's a solid 2-hour trade. I'm cool with that. The only concern here is if we hold this demand. That is the concern. That is the concern. If we hold here, it's probably going to rip. But I like the risk to reward, so I took it. Yeah, look good. Very good. Let me see. Ba-da-ba-ba. I don't know why I always sing when I'm in a trade. Alright, cool. Cool beans. Let me see one more thing here. Yeah, let's run it like that. That looks good. Yeah. Alright, let's run it like that, y'all. Alright, let's get back into the charts here. Let's get back into the charts. Alright, where were we at? Meta. Here we are. Meta. Beautiful rejection. Weekly close here after testing this macro supply. Daily. Very nice close here. As you guys can see, we had that big bearish engulfing. Got that nice pause bar. Beautiful close here. My big focus on Meta is this range. 680, 695. If we get below 680 on Meta, top watch for a short, back down into this demand, 660, 665. If we get down to this demand and we show strength, this is the watch where you would say, hey, okay, now I'm comfortable flipping long if we show strength down into this area. On the flip side, if Meta gets strong above this 695, that could invite that squeeze back into 706, 720 plus. If you notice, this week specifically, I have a lot of open-ended setups. And there's a reason for that, because I don't know what's going to happen for FOMC, right? As traders, we need to be prepared. And when you have a big data point like FOMC, no one knows what's going to happen, right? No one knows. So we need to compensate where we can compensate by being prepared. If QQQ does this, I'm going to do this, right? Simply reacting, not predicting. That's where a lot of traders go wrong. They try to predict versus react. No one can predict the market. Nobody. If so, the person that could, they would be billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars up, right? No one can predict, but we can react based off of scenarios like this. If Meta does this, I'm going to do that, right? So that's the type of week. Now, obviously, when the overall market's trending, we got a good catalyst that's driving the market. You can not predict the market, but you can get a good gauge on what's happening to where you can kind of control the trade a lot better. But when you have a week like this where it's a kind of a toss-up with a catalyst outside of your control, you definitely need to be open-minded, all right? Lastly here, we have AMD. AMD is in big trouble. We are now retesting this weekly structure, right? If you look at this AMD chart, we have a high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower low. This is just a macro break and retest. AMD is in trouble. Now we have that double top failure to go higher on the weekly after retesting that major macro supply. Nice rising volume through last week's close. AMD's in trouble, right? AMD's in big trouble. The significance of the supply is beyond measure, right? This is huge. On top of that, we're breaking this daily uptrend, right? This is huge for AMD. Hourly chart. We failed this high, right? Attempted to go higher, failed, got that lower high, break of structure. Now we have this beautiful drop base to trade from, which is what I want to focus on now. Top of the base being 118, bottom of the base being 114. Game plan on AMD is very simple, right? If we get back above 118, squeeze risk is very high, back into 120, 122. That is the top watch for a long on AMD, if we can reclaim that 118 level. Now, let's say AMD gets weak back below this 114. That is the top short watch back down into 109, 107. You guys can see this 107 is a very significant demand. That is the game plan on AMD for the week ahead. This is a beautiful freaking chart. Beautiful chart. You guys can even see we're forming a nice head and shoulders here where we have the left shoulder, the head, neckline. So if we do get a little pop and we fail, that could be a great swing for lower on AMD as well. So got to keep an eye on that also. Now, kind of like a honorary mention, LMT. Does anybody have a clue of why I'm keeping this name on watch outside of the chart? Does anybody have a clue? Anybody have a clue? Now, I don't want to sound like an asshole here, and it probably sounds a little selfish, but if anything's going to move off of war news, it's going to be LMT, right? And you know, I don't want anybody to look at it like, oh, we're trying to profit off of the war. No, I'm just doing my job. My job as a trader, I need to focus on where value is. So if this war talk does get serious, this is a name that's going to fucking explode, right? This is a name that's going to explode. If you look at this from a higher time frame, we are building heavily on a chart perspective. Like outside of the new stuff, right? We just bounced off a macro demand. Almost close. We almost have a monthly bullish engulfing here. Weekly bullish engulfing. Insane rising volume. Mark my words. If LMT can get above this base here at 500, this has squeeze potential back into 550, potentially even 600. This is the top long watch, right? For a very valid reason. Look at this daily chart. If we break, this is going to be a massive multi-day squeeze. So this is something I want to keep on watch heavy, especially with the news circulating. And yeah, man, that's what I'm watching for the week ahead. Again, Thursday, market is closed for Juneteenth. It's really closed for my birthday. That's why it's really closed. But Juneteenth happens to be on the same day as my birthday. So, or it's the other way around. I'm not sure. Anyway, market is closed June 19th. That is Thursday. It will resume as normal on Friday. And yeah, man, we'll spend these last couple minutes. God, dude, I swear every live is getting shorter and shorter. Am I tripping? I need to figure out something else to do. But it's like every fucking live is just like getting shorter and shorter. I'm not doing anything different. Am I? I don't know. We're covering NQ, ES, YM, RTY, silver, gold, oil, SPY, QQQ, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, Meta, Amazon, AMD, LMT. Like, what is happening? Am I tripping or am I tripping? I don't know what it is. Yeah, I feel like I'm going over more tickers. I don't know. I feel like we're going over more tickers and saving time. I have no clue. I don't know. Anyway, crypto, I mean, sure. Even if we go up for crypto, that's another fucking 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Solana, 100 area. That's the dip buy. Ethereum struggling here. This is a major supply. Look at the significance of the supply here, 2850. This is big trouble for Ethereum. Whoops. Big trouble here. Big trouble. Yeah, I would say crypto looks shaky, man. Especially Bitcoin. We just failed those highs again. Major level here is 100,000. If we lose this 100K level again on Bitcoin, that downside is going to be ugly. I think we can probably get that. If we lose 100,000 on Bitcoin, I think we'll get down to the 75,000 again. But, you know, ultimately, we'll see. We're just consolidating right now. That's pretty much it. Crypto is kind of just consolidating. I would say this NQ chart looks pretty, Ethereum chart looks pretty weak, right? We pushed into the supply, had that high, attempted to go higher, failed. So now we got that double top fair to go higher. I would say it's a little shaky for Ethereum. Solana also got that failure of that supply, lower high. We are in demand now, but that's a little shaky. I would say these charts look shaky, you know. I don't know. I would say everything looks pretty shaky. I think Qs look shaky, SPY looks shaky. I think everything looks shaky, but you know, with this market, Trump and you know, all these data points we're seeing, all this shit can shift on a dime. So I encourage you guys to do the same thing that I do. Go into every single trading day with an open mind, ready for whatever the market throws at you, right? Be reactive, not predictive. And yeah, that's pretty much the only thing we can do, man. That's pretty much the only thing we can do. Go into each trading day trying to, you know, react, you know, let that dust settle and then go from there. Alrighty, guys. Anybody got any last minute questions, whether it's trading related, business related, something about me, whatever you guys have to ask, now's your time to ask it. While that's going on, we're going to go ahead and do the giveaway. And yeah, man, let's get it. Let's get it. I don't know. I'm going to figure out some more stuff for the lives. I feel like they're too short. Or they might be just right. Do you guys prefer 30 minutes or an hour? It's up to you guys, really. I really don't give a fuck. Create a poll real quick. All right, let's see what we got here. While we're doing that, we'll pull up that over there. First keyword for the giveaway is going to be FOMC. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. Let me see. What happened, Nico? Can you explain your mentorship right quick? Yeah, I got you. As soon as we finish this, whatever you got, we'll get it. Let's do this giveaway real quick, and then I'll come back to your question. I didn't forget. I just seen it. We'll do this giveaway, and we'll come back to it. Once we hit 200 entries, I'll let her rip. All you got to do is type FOMC in the chat one time. Good to go. Run it now? Fuck it. Let's get it. Someone said run it now. Let's do it. Why not? Good luck, everybody. Franchise trades. I'm going to give you guys a choice tonight. Do you want cash or do you want an Apex account? Cash or Apex account? You let me know. Cash or Apex account? What you want, franchise trades? Apex account, you can pick any size. You get a code, you can activate it right now. It's up to you. Let me know. Alright, you said here. You want cash or you want an Apex account? What you want, what you want, what you want? Apex account? Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Let me send that to Dom right now. That way you can get instant access. While I'm doing that, we'll re-roll it. Change the keyword to JPOW. Good luck, everybody. Keyword is JPOW. I'm going to write it on the screen. Keyword is JPOW. I'm going to get him his code. Cool. Alrighty. Good luck, everybody. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Yeah, it's completely free with Apex. All you gotta do is input the code. You can select whatever size account you want. You want a 25K, you can do it. You want a 300K, you could do it. I would recommend 50 or 100, but it's completely up to you at the end of the day. I don't know if it's case sensitive, but I would do it just in case. I would do it just in case. Alrighty. Good luck, everybody. Oh, that's a minty, man. Let's go. Love to see it. My man Josh, let's go, brother. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What you want? You want cash or an Apex account? Talk to me. Let's go, man. Good shit. Good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. You want cash or an Apex account? You let me know. How do you keep the money with Apex? What do you mean? Pascal? What do you mean? Cash? Cool. I just told Dom. Alrighty. Last one. Let's get it. Reset entries. Giveaway options. Keyword is going to be last. Good luck, everybody. Keyword is going to be last. Keyword is last. Good luck, good luck, good luck. I'm excited for this week, man. How much cash is it anyways? It all depends. All depends if they're minty. All depends if it's Father's Day today. Their father, it'll be more. All depends every week. I usually change it every week. Let me see. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I didn't know that was a thing. Can everybody do me a favor? I don't know if this is asking for too much, but how do you not lose fun with Apex? How to pass evals? I mean, just trade them like normal, man. You know, you don't have to do anything extravagant. When we hop off here, go say what's up to the kick. Trying to get that thing going. Alrighty, good luck, everybody. Bree. Bree. Congratulations to Bree. What would you like, an Apex account or cash? You let me know. We'll make it happen. I'm leaving on Thursday. On Thursday. I'm going to type in the Minty chat in a little bit. If some of you guys want to pull up, you're more than welcome. It's not going to be a Minty trip specifically, but whoever wants to pull up can pull up if you're local. Can you run back a giveaway for... So you don't want the money, Josh? Cool. Bree is here. What would you like, Bree? Would you like cash or an Apex account? Might be doing one more. I think Josh said he didn't want it. Cash? Awesome. You want to give it away, Josh? Is what you're saying? Run another giveaway? Okay. Sounds good. Shout out to Josh, man. Let's go ahead and reset that. We're going to make the keyword Josh for Josh. Just giving it to somebody else. Let's go. Keyword is Josh. All capital letters. Dads only? Yeah, okay. This one be for the dads only. So you got to be a dad to win. Let's get it. Josh said it has to be for a dad, so he gave it away. It's his rules. Dads only. So if you're not a dad, try not to take Josh. If you already did, it's okay. But you think it's too late to eat one of these neuro gums? It has caffeine in it. Anybody with some expertise would be... I don't know, I want to chew some gum, but the only one I have is the neuro gum. Bro, oh my god, I drank that fucking Starbucks coffee. Holy shit. Felt like my feet were gliding across the earth. Like I had a jetpack on my back. Like the first 3 sips, my eyes like fucking just like pinged open like a toothpick was stuck between them. Fucking heart started racing, started getting all hot and sweaty. I was like, oh my god, dude. It was just regular black coffee. Nothing in it. It was like Sumatra or something like that. Holy shit. No caffeine after 5? Yeah, I usually don't. I take that back. When I drink Red Bulls, I would drink one at like 9 p.m. and then go right to sleep. Alright, let's get it. Kid Sensation Zola Music. I think that's Malik. Malik, is that you? No? Is that Malik? I think so. He's definitely a father, if so. Yeah, that fucking Starbucks coffee is no joke, man. Malik, where you at? That's you, right? Nice. It's a good winner, man. It's my boy, man. And he's a minty, too. Let's go. What you want, a account or cash? Malik, what you want? Let me know. Alright, there we go. What you want, Malik? You want a Apex account or cash? Cool. Sounds good. Alrighty, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night here. But before I do, anybody got any last minute questions? Trading, business, entrepreneurship, whatever it may be. Now's your time to ask it. I'll hang out for a few more minutes. Whatever you guys got, feel free to ask it. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Oh, Nico said, what was it? Mentorship. What'd you ask again? What does the mentorship consist of? Well, this one is different from all my others because all my others, I wasn't knee deep into futures as I am now. So this is geared a lot towards futures along with options, right? So it's kind of been extended, right? Because obviously I couldn't compact everything and just say, oh, hey, I'm going to extend it another 5 weeks, right? But it's more, I would say it's 50-50, right? With a lot more gravity to what works for everyone versus just what worked for me, like through experience, I guess you could say. But yeah, so as of right now, it is extended a little bit. It's 7 weeks. I've added a lot more futures information towards the end. I've tried to split it 50-50. But yeah, it's live Monday, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Recordings are lifetime. I have a lot better system now with the recordings, PowerPoint, and the delivery on the back end, so that's pretty cool. It'll be all done through WAP versus Discord and WAP. So obviously you'll get access to Discord, but we live trade every day. It's mentees only, and then obviously everything else will be held on WAP. Say for example, if you take the mentorship, you know, we're about to start in right after my birthday, so we're gonna start in like 2 weeks. If you take it in 2 weeks, I'll be doing the refresher towards the end of the year. So if you take the mentorship now, you'll be able to take it again in 6 months, right? You take it every year. I do a refresher every year. So if you're a mentee who took it 3 years ago, you'll be able to take it again at the end of the year, right? There's some mentees who've taken the mentorship 2 times or 3 times, right? Yeah, it's lifetime access. When I say that, I really mean it, right? Like, I mean, look at Hannah. She's been a mentee for what, 4 years, something like that. She's taken, obviously, her mentorship, the refresher, the collab I did with Brett, and the refresher I did last year. Hannah's taken the mentorship like 4 times. Coleman's also taken the mentorship like 4 or 5 times. Brett's even taken the mentorship multiple times. Who else? Let me see. A bunch of people have taken it. Oh, Freezy probably attended 3 or 4 times over the years. Yeah, so that's that. How can you tell if a stock is going to squeeze in either direction? It all depends on price action and the significance of the level, right? For example, like NVIDIA, right? A squeeze type move would come from this 145 level, right? Where there's tons of room to the run to the upside, where the level is very significant. We know that, right? And then we've seen a very strong push into our level, through our level, and we started to squeeze above 145. That's where you get that squeezy action. So it all starts with a significant level, and it finishes with strong price action above that level or obviously below that level. All depends on price action, just overall momentum and the quality of the level, right? Let's see what else we got here. Excuse me. You can't find Dom on Discord. Just go to add friends and type in the pinned message. Should be good to go. Yep. Your Tradevate login should be on the dashboard. If it's take profit, it'll be under the journey. If it's on Apex, it'll be on the right side of the dash home page. Is every level a trade opportunity? Yeah, 100%. If the context is there, right? For example, 145, right? If we push into this 145 and show weakness, sure, that could be a great short opportunity. If we push into 140, right, and hold, that could be a good long opportunity. On the flip side, if we break 145, that's our great long opportunity, right? We break 140, that's our great short opportunity, right? Our levels are essentially a staircase, right? We know, hey, if we break 140, we have room down into 137.50. Hey, if we break 137.50, we have room down into 133, right? So these essentially are our guides to get us where we need to go, where we know the market has room, right? Say, for example, we go long at 130, reclaim 133. We know we got room into 137. Reclaim 137, we know we got room into 140, et cetera, right? That's how you trade. Level to level, support to resistance, supply to demand, demand to supply. That's how you trade, right? Our levels are our guide. Overall structures, our guide. Trends, our guide, right? We're just trading within it, right? We're not looking to catch 100% of the move. Yeah. Yep. How did I celebrate my Father's Day? I got to sleep in. That was pretty fire. And just ate dinner with my dad, my mom, little one. Pretty much it. Nothing too fancy. I really don't do much, y'all. I promise. I don't. My life is very boring. How to make sure you don't get caught in noise? Wait for confirmation. Like, for example, a move like this, right? The other night, we went short right here, right? I sold 150 points in, right? I sold right here. I made 3K per contract. Am I going to cry about catching half the move because I missed the other half? No. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I don't care about catching the whole move, right? Sure, am I going to get a little FOMO down here? Yes, but this is where a lot of traders go wrong. They overly focus on the FOMO versus what they did right. What I did right was I executed a great trade. A little bit extra I could have caught. Whatever, man. You know, it is what it is. Focus on what you're doing right instead of what you're doing wrong. Use what you're doing wrong as a guide to start doing things right, right? That should be your focus. That should be your focus. Are you still good on Apex? Of course. Just got paid out, what, 2 days ago? Nice, Lika. Good stuff. But, yeah, man. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and rock out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's live. If you guys could do me a favor, smash that like button. And, yeah, man, I will see you guys bright and early in the morning. As always, again, big week ahead of us. FOMC being the start of the show on Wednesday. Birthday on Thursday. Market closed because of Juneteenth. Let's get it, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your night. And, yeah, man, you guys have a great rest of your night. I will see you guys in the morning. Peace, everybody.